We're closer, but we're going to take all the time we have, and we got to get it right, and then we got to get 20 more selections right. And it's all part of it, and we've had a great week of debate, and we'll have 3 or 4 more days worth of that, and be ready on Sunday.
I think last time we talked to you, you were talking about the scouts were going to get together, and that would be nice and all that. How has that gone? Like,
It has been.
Debate, how is that?
Yeah, I mean, like the room has been great as far as just getting past the niceties and let's get into the arguments and debates. So that's been good. And then, once the meetings are over, the guys typically hang out, watch the games, and that's a chance to connect a little bit more personally too, which has been nice. So yeah, really thankful that everyone's here, and I think everyone's like excited and anxious, for Sunday night and Monday and Tuesday. We all know how important it is.
And I'm sure the debates are passionate. How's it going to come down? Like, how is that final decision going to be made? Can you give us an idea how that?
Yeah, I mean, I think we've got to debate, disagree. Dive deep as we can, and then commit to a group and an order. And the order may tell us what to do, or as we get into conversations with players, that may help us too. So we'll just see, and there's different strategies we can take, and I don't think we want to, nor can we really make a decision on what strategy we end up taking until it's time to do that, and I think that'll be Sunday evening.
Regarding the whole draft, not the first pick necessarily, when you say commit to the order, there isn't really like an organizational emphasis like, hey, let's just get a bunch of pitchers.
No, not at all.
It's
just
an order.
All information, this is the order, and because one's a little bit different because you know when that's coming and you have time, and once the draft starts though, it just goes too fast to be reordering, so the order becomes really important.
You could make the case, though, that with the number 1 pick, you dictate the order of the draft, that you guys are in position to determine
It may impact a little bit up top, like it may impact a little bit the first few picks, but once we get to our second pick, it's, I don't think whoever we take at 1 is going to impact who's still there at 37, so that's where the order becomes really important, and we've got to be ready.
How much more pressure is there to have number 1 versus, say, last year, number 7?
I think I don't feel like it's more pressure. We know how important the draft is. I mean, the draft's going to be critical for the Pirates every year. No matter how high we're picking, and hopefully it's not this high very often or soon. So I don't feel like there's any more pressure this year. I think it's just we all feel pressure every year to get it right, and but that's an opportunity too. We also talk about that, like, we get the chance to make that selection. So it's pressure, yes, but it's exciting pressure, and it's an opportunity, and it doesn't feel like a burden at all.
Logistically, do you have to set a time where you guys know like who you're taking? Like, I know you're going to take every last minute, but like, do you have to submit a pick to Major League Baseball at 5 p.m. or something?
Right, like you get, once you're on the clock, then it's 5 minutes or whatever, right?
Okay, so you can go right up into
yeah.
right in. Okay.
Yeah.
And
I'm sorry.
No, I mean, and you will is what I'm asking. Like, you
I
think
don't.
there still could be debate at that point.
I think it's most likely we'll go right up to that.
Wow.
I mean, maybe something happens where it's clear before that, but I think it's most likely.
And to your point earlier, it's tight enough to where you could meet somebody and that conversation or that interaction could change your mind or tip the scales.
Yeah, I think you're sharing information all the way up, to the draft, and I think players and their families, there's a lot for them to work through. We've had guys here the last few days. We've gone to see guys, and there's a ton of stuff for them, all those guys to consider and think through, and so to some extent they need all the time they have to consider things, and then you just have to keep that dialogue going and share information and see where it lines up.
Are you at liberty to say which guys you've met with here, or no?
I mean, I'd rather not say who's come in, but the I think I mentioned, we had it down to like single digits, and we do, and we're getting time either in Pittsburgh or elsewhere with all of those, all that group.
And does your involvement in the draft process, or really the number of cooks in the kitchen, change when you're picking 1-1 versus say 15th or 20th?
I don't think the amount of time changes. It's probably picking 1-1 is different in terms of like everything else that comes along with that. So maybe I'd try to help like take some of that burden, so that our group can focus just as much on the rest of the draft. We're gonna do it all together, but so I don't think I'm spending any more time in the draft room than I would normally. Maybe we're allocating time to different parts of the draft a little bit differently than we would, but I don't think it changes.
And you mentioned, I'm sorry, I'm sorry to catch up. You mentioned waiting till the last second just as a process. How much of that is waiting to see if somebody calls you and says, hey, we like X, we like X, and we will give you Y?
Well, it's just waiting because you might need to wait for more information, and if there's more information out there, then why not wait for it until you can't wait any longer? I think it's that, and it seems like in a draft, and I don't think I'm breaking news here, like in a draft where you have a bunch of good players but pretty tightly packed at the top, that it would make sense, and we feel like it makes sense to use all the time we have.
In terms of from